This is an ooh-wee production.
Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, where the goal is to better our understanding through conversation. Communicating our feelings, our thoughts, or our opinions could be some of the easiest, or it could be some of the hardest things to do. But by communicating, we begin to form new perspectives. So throughout the various topics and opinions we discuss on our podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and maybe a few laughs to your day. We appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the show.
I think, man, what we need to go at with this, man, is just appreciation.
Yeah.
Simple. Just appreciation. Like, the reason why I do that, the reason why I'm, coming from that perspective is oftentimes we miss the mark on something so small and something so simplistic. When we got an opportunity to really thank those that really need to be thanked, why should we wait for a birthday? Why should we wait for Mother's Day? Why should we wait for, anything that Simon says that we should do?
Yeah.
When we have the ability to do it ourselves in a manner in which is forthcoming and coming straight from the heart. So right now, I want to dedicate this segment for. I'm still in prayer mode. Hey.
I mean, you better speak the word.
But I ain't lying, boy.
Hey,
it's
about to come, man.
Yeah. So it's about to come. Nah,
you gotta say no Diddy after that.
Pause. Nah.
Pause, right,
yeah.
Right.
Nah, man, but just really right now, just give that opportunity to really just speak out and just come from the heart,
Yeah.
Do something that we probably wouldn't normally do, but I think it's time. I think it's past due. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna say first and foremost, I'm gonna give a shout out first. I'm gonna give a shout out to my old man, Senior.
Hey.
Yeah, man, he's been through a lot in his life, and I'm just appreciative to have a father, an imperfect father such as he. And I'm cool with saying imperfect because in this particular setting, I'm good with that. I don't expect him to be anything other than imperfect. I'm imperfect. We all imperfect. So, with that being said, it's funny because, for him to be my father, these relationships that we hold with individuals that's important, such as my father, your mother, whoever, it's like it come a time when you start reminiscing your mind on things, right? And you can remember when you was a little boy, but then also if you think deep enough, you can remember your parent when they were a lot younger. And it's like, man, it's like it made me laugh a lot of times because I can actually remember a portion of my father's life in which it's like the roles were completely reversed. Like when he was in his 30s and remembering how he would have handled something at that point in his life and then looking at him now at this point in his life. And it's like, he didn't always hit the mark. Sometimes he fell a little short. I still remember something in which I got disciplined for, and this was like to this day. And that's what trauma is, right? When you can remember that one thing and then you like to this day, it's like, man, I got my behind cut and that wasn't even on me. But again, I don't hold that against him. It happened. We all make mistakes. But that we just talking about one time when all the other times that he had to, handle his business, I needed that, because if he continuously let me slide, what would I be in my life, And that says a lot because my father was always a disciplinary. That brother would bring the boom in a matter of no time. But then he used to have this one thing that he always used to do that, hey man, it made me mad. It's like, it's almost one of them situations where I wish he would have just went on ahead and did it at that point in time. But he so it's like he always tell me, All right, you made your bed, you're gonna lie. So early on, I didn't really understand it. But he said, you know what? I'm gonna let you slide for now.
That's that cliffhanger.
Man, listen here, man. Listen here. That's the cliffhanger of doom. Cause it's like, man, you so happy that you didn't get it initially, but after this happened so many times, you already knew. It's like psychology. It's still coming before the end of the day. I'm a mess this up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the one. It's always me. And man, just like clockwork. We'd go to, man, back in the day, man, we'd go to like Golden Corral, man. And my brother and I don't know what it is, but my brother and I, boy, we get it popping in the restaurant, man. And next thing you know, see, that's what I'm talking about. I let you slide earlier. Now I'm gonna get you.
Oh man.
Hey, boy, it's like, man, all of a sudden, when you had that urge, that initial urge of dessert, all that, man, it's like, man, listen, the ice cream don't taste the same no more, man. The gummy bears, gummy worms, whatever you putting on that. Matter of fact, I don't even want it no more.
You quiet for the whole rest of the day, man.
But it's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late.
Because now he a man of his word. Behavior. But it's, you already know it's over with. Because he already done spotted your opportunity, your chance. Now you got to eat that. We ain't talking about the ice cream. So it's like, man, but right now, having this conversation with you, man, now the 12-year-old version of me, whatever, younger, however old I was at the time, that version of myself may disagree, but right now I'm here to say that I definitely appreciated everything that he's done for me in my life. Then I got to thinking about it. When we fall into these roles, these new roles in our lives, and whatever that role may be, we quickly figure out if somebody was in this role prior to me, and I saw this person in a role prior to me getting a role. It's almost like now it's a raise for me, But with that, it also calls for you to have to raise your bar, Don't even know what your expectation was prior to that. We always have an expectation. We always have, if I was in that position, I wouldn't, I'd do things differently, But we don't know why that person prior to us, why they handled it the way that they handled it, until we get in that position, until we are thrust into action. Excuse me. I'm going to say this here, I had already said initially, I had parenting. Young me felt like I had parenting figured out. I had parenting 101. I had the book written for it. Nah, man, you ain't got to put your hands on your child, this, that, and the other. Hey, I'm not saying I go around and I, put my hands on my children all the time, but sometimes it does call for a time in which, a spanking is due, Yes, I said spanking. I'm being politically correct right now.
I'm about to come for you, boy.
But you know what, though? Since we own this,
I'm with you, though,
but since we own this, though, and I want to speak on it, it's interesting. When you know better, you do better, right? And growing up, it was always called a beating. Yeah. I remember, a whipping or beating. I remember both of them. I don't want to get beat. I don't want no whipping, But now when you start to really take and break these words down, where these words come from, that's the issue that I have. And it's interesting because most Caucasian people, if they are in the discipline, if they are disciplinaries, it's like they state spanking.
Yeah.
We whip or beat.
Right. It's a whole different level.
It's very much a different level. Then when you start to trace this stuff back, then you starting to go back towards slavery, whippings, beatings. It's like it's inhumane how we speak.
Yeah.
We have to change our lingo, No, so those are the things that I will say since we still on this conversation. as a parent, that is the things that I begin to change.
Nah, that's real.
Because number one is like, no, if I love you, why in the world am I trying to beat you?
Yeah.
If I love you, why am I trying to whip you? I'm not trying to whip you. I'm not trying to beat you. I'm trying to discipline you.
Yeah.
In which also I have a plethora of different ways of getting my message across, even if I choose or opt out of, actually spanking my child. It's too many ways. First of all I need to do is just, I need to analyze you. And as a parent, if you can't analyze your child, something wrong. You know what they like. So if you already know what they like, then that's a weakness. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and you can hit them hard through their weakness. I didn't even mean to go to, this is becoming parenting class 101. I didn't mean for it to go here, but keeping it all in perspective. My father, he'll let the stuff, he'll let it build up. And when it built up, I already knew. I knew it was coming. I couldn't avoid it at that point. I remember one time, man, he got me. That brother got me. And it's like, I told myself, I think this is when I came of age, and I said, you know what? How can I stop these? And I was like, man, nah, this is like an act of God. Nah, I can't stop this. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is what it's going to be. Then I had a strong, conversation with self. And I said, you know what? Today need to be my last spanking. How can I make today my last spanking? Well, back then I said whipping. That's what it felt like. Just being real. That's what it. Nah, that brother, boy,
Heavy-handed.
Very heavy.
There you know.
Brother boy strong. But it's like, man, I said, it was okay. I'm gonna tell you about the last time I got a spanking, man. So the last time I got a spanking, I was in middle school, and I had a girlfriend back in the day, man. And I remember, man, my daddy told me, you can't, I don't want you on the phone. Back in the day, it was really just the phone or the game system. So it was the game system, TV, and the phone. I can't even remember what I did, but whatever I did it. So he left. He said, I'm about to leave. I'll be back. Man, the moment that man left, boy, it's like, man, what a party at, Craig? I'm talking about, man.
You already had it planned up.
Boy, I don't even, that's the crazy, but I don't even think I had it planned out. But then when I heard him say he leaving,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man, I heard the door shut, man. I turned the TV on first. Number one, kids, if you ever gonna do something, first of all, and it's a number of things you're not supposed to do, pick one. Man, I overdid it, man. I'm talking about, boy, first the TV on. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting around there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm partying, man. The TV on. The next thing I know, man, let me call my girl real quick. Get on the phone, call my girl, man. Again, TV on. It's like too much going on. Man, next thing I know, man, the conversation get good with her. So now all of a sudden, I ain't even worried about the TV no more. The TV in the other room. I'm in another room talking on the phone. Man, I don't know how. I don't know how he got in the door without me even realizing the door had turned. Or the door made noise any other this day. I don't know. It was meant for me to get caught. That brother, man, I was up there. I'm talking about trying to put my sexy voice on and all that. Yeah, what's up, girl? Back in the day, you ain't had no bass back in the day. What up, girl? Yeah, what you doing?
Locked in.
Yeah. Hey, you had look nice today at school. Man, then I said, man, right when I thought I was about to put my move on, right? I'm sitting around there. Yeah, but you know what I really want to talk to? What I really want to talk to you about? And then she might have said, like, what? And then all of a sudden, hey, look, I'm going to have to call you back.
Oh, man, just then, what you doing?
Man, look at, bruh. The man was in front of me.
Dang, man.
The man was in. I saw the Undertaker, bro. I'm like, man. Before I'm holding the phone right here, and the remote in the other hand. Phone in one hand,
Done.
Man, I said, I don't even think I said nothing. He said, you know what? Go ahead. He said, go ahead, back day. That's all he had to say.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. People that's probably listening to me right now. So we got this thing like, Savannah talk. People, when you from Savannah by how you say certain things. I don't know if y'all heard what I said just now. But just now, my daddy told me, hey, go ahead, back day. Back day. You don't have to say no more. Back day, I knew what back day was. Or sometimes we talk and we say, yeah, man, you gonna be over there? Yeah. Over there. What is over there? But we understand. It's like, man, sometimes, misunderstood it ain't gotta be explained. No way, yeah, so I went on back day. Man, I remember, man, prior to that moment, my daddy, he would clown me at times, man, because in one situation, he was disciplining me. And man, I said, no, Daddy, wait, please, Daddy, wait. I said, can we talk about this? That man was about to draw back on me. That man stopped and he looked at me. What you say? I said, wait. I got something I want to tell you. He said, you better hurry up and get it out. Make it quick. I said, okay. I just want you to know, I turned my life over to Christ.
Wow, dog. Did he still go through with it?
Like a soldier.
Oh, bro. He probably was like, man.
Man, look here, bro.
Boy.
To this day, that man tell that story, right? And he said, son, I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, boy, you almost cracked me that day. But it's like, I don't know how he held that face, because I didn't see no ounce of cracking. That brother brought that thunder, man.
He ain't break character
at all. That brother, they won an award that day.
But it's funny because we could laugh at it now.
Yeah,
but it's like it's needed.
But like you know what I'm saying. What his name said? Laugh at my pain.
Kevin Hart.
Man, look here. That's what it was. It was pain for me. But
that's
that
how
man
you learn, though, bro.
Yeah.
Learn,
Facts.
Man.
Well, my daughter told me that too.
What's up? That's how you learn?
No, wait, Daddy. Wait. Can we talk about this? See, now I ain't gonna lie. Now I know everybody that's probably like under the sun of my voice. Wait a minute, did he discipline his? Let me say something about that. Well, my daughter is a huge scary cat. When she does something like over the top, which is rare, but if she does something over the top, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I gotta send a strong message. Man, yeah, I'll front her. I say, come here now. And I act crazy. I just act real crazy. I said, that's it, I'm tired of talking. And so everybody sit around here looking like, when I see them looking like that, I know I got their attention. And so I said, I'm going to get the belt. No, Daddy, no. And man, I got him then. So I'm going to get the belt. And I bring it from about this high here. Like you got to bring it from behind your head, over your head, The higher you go, you are...
like the mollywop.
Baby. Man, you bring it from, I'm talking like LeBron dunks. He come from back here. I'm LeBroning. You know what I'm saying? I'm back here like this here. So also what it does is it gives me time. It gives me time to really to send home the message. I ain't gonna lie. My daughter, I ain't got no.
Yeah,
I don't have no.
I don't
man,
really.
Hear me out. I don't have no intentions on bringing it all the way down.
Right.
But by the time I pump fake her too, I hit her with no. Boy, she busts out and I'm talking about that's it. I'm talking about, man,
They be having that death cry, man.
Man, look here.
Like they about to die at that moment.
And I say, why should I let you go? I done been talking all day. I just go off. Mm-hmm. I go off. And I'm sorry. All that. Man, I'm talking about, man, yeah, man, very ugly. Hideous cries. And man, by the time I get finished, man, I tell her, I put the belt and I chop the bed. Man, and I said, you better hurry up and get up out of here now. She get up and fly.
I feel you though. Well, mine, I really don't. I pop her hand like a couple times, and one time she got me, bro. She was like I had popped her hand one time, and I was about to do it again, and then she flinched. And it was just, bro, I was like, oh, man, I felt so bad. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was my straight fear, bro. I was like, I went too hard, bro.
Some people say that. Some people say fear is the beginning of understanding.
Yeah, facts, yo, facts, man. So it's like,
Man, where we get that from?
What up?
Man, it's like those sayings. Like some people say fear is the beginning.
100%, bro.
But yeah, man, it's like,
yeah, man.
I will say this here. Now we talking about like I do use like my daddy. He used to use psychology on me too. So I use the psychology too while I was disciplining. So if my children are getting into it with one another,
yeah,
and I'm trying to remember what the instance was, but something transpired in which, matter of fact, I already knew who did what. And so, man, I played it off like this. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get to the bottom of this. I said, by the end of us getting to the bottom of this, I said, we're going to hold court. That's what I told him. I said, we're going to hold court. I said, I got 3 of y'all, and I said, 3 of y'all going to be my witnesses. I said, y'all going to speak. And so I already knew who it was. My oldest, I already knew in this particular situation, my oldest was guilty. I already knew he was guilty. But I wanted to see if he was going to tell me the truth. Do you know that brother, they held a straight face and he held on to his lie to the end. And so what I did, I created a pressure-filled situation. So I took my baby boy and I brought him into it. And I said, okay, so you didn't do it, right? He said, no, Daddy, I didn't do it. I said, okay. Your sister said she didn't do it. And baby girl, I already knew. That's with her. When I bring her into it, man, I really have to stand strong because I ain't gonna lie. She really had me a lot of time where I'm about to break character. Nah. She fly off the bro. When I say she fly off the handle, bro, like she get hysterical sometimes, and I be up there like this girl.
You talking about crying?
Yeah, like just break it down. So like she be ready to spill a beans. She told me, no, Daddy, I promise I didn't do that. So I'm like, so after a while, I just tell her, I said, don't say another word. That's
all you can leave it at.
Yeah, that's it, man, because it's like really this ain't got nothing to do with her, but I'm trying to, at this point, the whole thought process behind what I'm doing is I want to send a message, and on top of that now, I'm trying to test my child to see how far you're willing to go to let somebody else possibly suffer. Yeah. That's going to teach me now to keep an eye on you, or to really like figure out, okay, where we headed at, you know. So I said, okay, after I applied a little pressure to my daughter, she cracked or whatever. I said, okay, you fine, you go over there. So she walk on over there on the other side of the room. And I got my baby boy here. He another one. But I apply pressure. This time, I go a little harder than I went with her. I said, so what about your brother here? I said, so you say you didn't do it, your sister didn't do it, so that only leaves one person. It's him. He did it, right? I said, he had to do it. I said, he did it, right? And so he ain't said nothing for a while. And so I looked at him. I said, yeah, I knew it was you. In my mind, I already knew it wasn't him. Right. Boy, baby boy started breaking. He started folding. He like, you know, after a while, I said, son, you did it, didn't you? And I started looking at him hard. And at first, it was, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it, Dad. I didn't do it. Then after a while, I started leaning in and really like applying pressure, coercing him, so to speak. And I noticed something interesting that happened. Before, he said no, but the more I applied pressure, and his brother wasn't coming to his defense, I didn't mean to do it, though. I didn't. So in my mind, I'm sitting there watching all this play out. I said, I don't believe this. I'm like, at this point in time, his brother need to be defending him now. I said, okay.
Oh, he really didn't do it.
I knew who did it.
Oh, okay.
But again, I put them like what I'm telling you about. I basically took them through a trial. Yeah. Like I set it up, Well,
He's gonna let him take the full
yeah,
full
exactly.
Like, golly,
Exactly.
bro. Why you do me like
Well,
that?
there's a lot
man?
of but I'm talking about the living room was on fire.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, so my daughter now she comes from off the other side of the room. Now she comes in and she's like, Daddy, he didn't do it either. He didn't do it. I said, first of all, who we're talking to you? That's you. Come on back on over here. No, but wait a minute, Dad, I didn't do it. He didn't do it either, though. He didn't do it. I said, okay. So I tell you what. I said, well, since you saying he didn't do it, and you say you didn't do it, I'd take both of y'all in. I said, one of y'all had to do it. So now I got both of them down there. Again, I already know who did it. I want to see if he's going to go ahead and own up to it. Man, I had
old strong.
Man, look, I had both of them down there.
And that man said,
Man, I pulled a belt out, man. I said, look, somebody about to get this smoke. Man, I'm sitting up there like, and in my mind, I'm begging, please, son, stop this. Man, look here. Look here.
What was he looking like though? He was just
I'm about to show you. That brother was like,
yo, my man held strong, boy. Hey, here, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
That's a real one.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah.
It scared me. Like, honestly, watching this live, it scared me.
This man, that's
Because I said, yeah, it scared me. I get to that part in a minute on why it scared me. But next thing I know, man, but the look got me, man. That brother.
Stone face. Yo, savage.
Yeah, exactly.
On me, bro, for real.
Exactly.
Ruthless record.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's
man,
funny, man.
So what I did, I changed the scenario again. So what I was doing, I was trying to control the whole atmosphere by adding different variables and then changing the scenario just a little bit. So this time I said, okay, since you're willing to defend your brother, you said it wasn't him, then guess what? You go ahead, how about you take some of the licks for your brother? You take his licks. So I said, okay, that's what we gonna do. You gonna take, no. Yeah. I said, you gonna take your brother's licks. And so my baby boy come back, no, Daddy, get me, don't get her. So I said, okay, this is a strange scenario that's unfolding here. I said, now he's willing to take hers. So, boy, I drew back. I said, all right, you better go, baby girl. You better leave now. Boy, I turned around, boy, old girl was back on the other side of the room.
Said, I ain't want no parts of
She
that.
said, she said, I almost wound up in that fire twice. It's getting hotter and hotter. I'm going to just stay on over here. So I look back, and I'm about to draw back. I'm again, pump faking. Baby girl looking, and next thing I know, she covering her eyes. She don't even want to see it. I said, baby girl, why you covering up your eyes? I said, why you covering? I don't understand it. What's the logic of covering up your eyes? I said, it's not you, right? Yeah, but it's not him either. So when I said that, I said, y'all go in the back room. I'm coming. I said, I'm gonna deal with y'all two in a few minutes. Boy, both of them together. They hugging each other, walking into the room. So,
and like, yo, we escaped.
Exactly. No, it wasn't no escape because they thought I was gonna get them.
Right.
I just told them, y'all go in the room. I said, I deal with both of y'all together. So I sent them out the room, and then I started speaking to my oldest son. I said, listen here. I said, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know who did it. I said, this right here, this is sickening to me. I said, you sitting there and you willing to allow two innocent people getting ready to get the consequences of what you really should be getting. And you cool. I said, bro, you ain't better than you no type of emotion. You ready to send them to slaughter. And so after a while, man, I heard them in the back room. They both of them busting out crying loud now. I call them back to the living room, and I sat them down. I said, listen, y'all come on back in. I sat them down. I said, listen, stop crying. I said, I'm not going to get y'all. I know who did it. Daddy, it was me. I said, I know it wasn't y'all. I said, I already know who it is. And I said, son, I got something I want to say to you. I said, don't you ever in life allow somebody to tell you that you did something that you didn't do. I said, number one, if you start off saying you didn't do it, and you know deep down with everything God created you to be that you didn't do it, you don't never say you did it. I said, there's people right now behind bars that's serving time for other people because they didn't tell the truth. I said, you don't take nobody else's time. I said, you speak up, you speak the truth. Baby girl, I told her the same thing. After what? That sister, I'm looking at her, she was a mess. I'm telling my face out. I had to tell her to just calm down, get a tissue. Now my oldest boy, I said, son, I said, man, it's people that's dead and in prison doing time for other people when they knew for a fact that they were the ones that did it, but they willing to get at to somebody else. I said, man, don't ever be that dude, you know. And again, it's like little moments like that. I try to teach like that because number one, that's a real life. That could quickly become a real life instance. And again, like the whole trial thing, I don't even know. That was something that it just came to me off the top. I'm like, I'm gonna put them on trial and just see, you know. And it's just like watching that unfold though. It's like, man, watching how one to start off saying one thing and then before the end switches, he willing to take that time or do the time. I'm like, no, it's like that's the psychological aspect behind a lot of times, like just putting people in uncomfortable situations and just seeing how things play out.
100%.
But it's like, man, again, I wasn't about to put my hands on nobody, you know, in that instance, because that right there, that was more so of a learning. You know, it was just a learning tool that was going to be used to just find out about my children on a whole different level.
Nah, I can definitely understand that. Hey, you ever know, man, like pressure, it really,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bust pipes or create diamonds.
You, man. That's legit. That's legit, bro. To wrap it up, man, like we got these last 2 minutes. The whole appreciation thing, man, I think it's just appreciation for experience, man, like life experience.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Like just being able, because I was listening to a podcast, this guy named Jason Wilson, and he was saying how as a man he evolves over time. You know, first he was a DJ, then he became a husband. No, excuse me. First he was a son, then he became a DJ, then he became a husband. He his daughter hasn't had children yet, but then he's gonna evolve into a grandfather. You know, so it's just like, for me, it's just like appreciation for that, man, like life experiences and, you know, even parenthood, you know, just going through that and seeing how yourself evolves and watching how, or thinking how your parents might have felt with the same experiences you're going through now with your children. Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Lastly, I want to say this. Since we getting ready to head in this direction anyways, both of us, you know, I'm speaking on behalf of you because I know it's true, but both of us want to take a brief moment to really just take and appreciate the women that create the babies, the mothers, you know. Now everybody that may be able to give birth, that doesn't necessarily make you a mother. Just because a man does his part in procreation to create, that doesn't necessarily deem him a father.
Oh yeah.
But it's the actions that we're, you know, speaking on right now. Everybody that, you know, that puts out those actions that state you to be a mother or state you to be a father. And even with those particular titles, you know, that also bleeds down into, you know, being a grandmother, being a grandfather, you know. In this instant though, the grandmothers, the mothers, you are definitely appreciated. You know, come Sunday, you know, that's when we take and we celebrate Mother's Day. First and foremost, you know, man, we're gonna give y'all flowers while y'all here to see it or hear it from us. But we thank you for everything you do. I was going to say this earlier, but everything that we do in life is a choice. So when you all made the choice to make the sacrifices, because it's definitely a sacrifice, to be present, to be nurturers, to be uplifters, to be healers, you know, to discipline, all of these different things, you know, when you made the sacrifice on your time, you know, it's not in vain. And we definitely appreciate that.
100%, man. This is Real Talk Podcast, man. If you liked anything we said, please like, share, comment. Real Talk Podcast. We post every Thursday. Check us out, man. Peace.
Real talk.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or if you want to check out more of our content, please visit our social media platforms linked in the description of this episode. You can also check us out each week where we drop a new episode every single Thursday. So don't forget, like, share, comment, and thanks again for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.